It's long been known that YouTubers will do whatever it takes for views, including spending millions of dollars on videos like Mr. Beast, outright stealing content like Brent Rivera or Ludwig, or pretending to enjoy the game Five Nights at Freddy's. It's not that fun. I played it. It's not that fun. However, there is one YouTuber who is rising above the rest, who will actually do whatever it takes for views because he crashed his own airplane just for a viral video. Yeah, he crashed his own airplane. He made up a life or death situation where the engine cut out and he had to jump out of the plane to save his life, and he happened to be wearing a parachute that day, and that's how he clutched the situation. However, when that video surfaced a little over a year ago, it did get viral, but it also got a lot of suspicious concerns from real pilots or even Minecraft simulator pilots who thought it might have been faked, that the whole situation was fabricated. He didn't actually need to jump out of the plane to save himself. He just wanted to farm views. But Trevor, the guy, the pilot, denied, and those suspicions were always just in the air. Until today, where it is confirmed true, because Trevor pled guilty to a felony charge. And he said he intentionally crashed in Santa Barbara County to gain online views. A charge that might land him in federal prison for up to 20 years. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let's get some context. This is Trevor Jacob, who is an Olympian. He was actually in the Olympics in 2014 for snowboarding, got 9th place. Thank you for serving. Sorry you didn't win a medal. And this is the video. This video came out December 2021, and it's just a normal day. He's flying his plane, but disaster strikes while he's flying because the propeller cuts out. And he starts to get a little bit nervous. He's like, what the heck, man? My plane don't work no more.
I'm over the mountains and I get out an engine out.
He's like, I'm over the mountains. My plane's not working. And he looks down. He's like, maybe I got to jump out of this bitch. And then he jumps out of that bitch, which we know because there's convenient slow-mo plus multiple camera angles to capture every single fall. And luckily for us, he also grabbed his selfie stick to make sure we could see it in every angle possible, which is pretty nice of him. But for a layman like me who don't understand shit about plane, I'm like, all right, cool, Pug. That's good that you saved your life. And also good that you're able to capture the actual crashing of the plane better than a Mission Impossible movie could. Now he does safely land, and then he hikes over to the location of the crashed plane, and viewers start to get a bit suspicious about the whole ordeal. I mean, the comments were littered with people who were calling it fake, and he had to turn off the comments for a period, although they've been turned back on now. And there were other pilots, people in the aviation community, who didn't recognize any of his behaviors as accurate to a true pilot. That's not what a pilot do. They would call on the radio and be like, hey, Mayday, my shit going down. I don't know. I'm a fucking YouTuber, so I don't know what the hell they would do. But they did say in many rebuttal videos that what Trevor did was brain dead stupid, if not totally faked, including insightful things like this.
What is the shadow? Are you hiking out with your open parachute in your hands? So for all you know, you have to hike through 10, 20 miles of mountainous desert terrain with no food, no water, and you decide you're going to carry your parachute while you're bushwhacking.
Yeah, it's expensive, and it could provide good forts at night for sleep, perhaps. There's even people in the comments when this video came out saying, I used to do photogrammetry, which I think is just, I am like Rainbolt, for a while, and I found out the location of the coordinates and 2 miles northeast is a flat, bare area. Only a 45-degree turn with 1,000 feet of landing area. AKA, if you were in that plane, you could have just slowly brought it down. Even if the engine doesn't work, you're high up. Planes don't just fall out of the sky. They glide like birds. Even though all these complaints came out, even all the comments were accusing Trevor of faking the video, Trevor denied originally. Even after the FAA has removed his pilot license, he said, I did not jump out of my plane for views. Told it to every single news source that would listen. And so every YouTuber who made a video at the time just said alleged, but now it has been confirmed. He lied to the media, and he also lied to the government. And it's funny now to watch on hindsight him like plant little seeds of truths so that later on he could argue it. He said stuff like this.
That's why I always freaking fly with a parachute. No.
Which isn't true, by the way. The video's now deleted, but there's other videos that he had on his channel of him not flying with a parachute.
No phone service.
But I looked it up based off the coordinates, and it looks like there was, some cell service. Not a lot, mind you, but it seems like there might have even been service in the area, which I think is kind of funny. And here's the thing that I think is the most fucked up of all. The excuse he gave for why he was actually going out there, his alibi for why it wasn't a faked plane crash, is that he flew that day to spread the ashes of his best friend, Johnny Strange, who is like another adrenaline junkie who does a lot of like base jumping, who died, who jumping in skydiving. He had an accident and passed away, and he said he was spreading the ashes of his best friend, which is obviously fake. It's just a fake story meant to like appeal to emotions, but obviously if he knew he was going to crash a plane, he wouldn't bring the ashes of one of his best friends. He just used that accident as an excuse, which I think is just wildly, wildly fucked up. But Trevor will get what's coming to him because the jig is up. Now, it's not outright illegal, I think, to intentionally crash your plane, but crashing a plane is like a more serious version of crashing a car. And when you're in a car crash, you're supposed to call the police so they come. When you crash a plane, you're supposed to report it to the people who need to know about plane crashes, which in this case is the National Transportation Safety Board. And although he did tell that board that he crashed his plane, when they asked where it was, he kind of delayed for a while. He was like, yeah, I'll give it to you like in a little bit. But the reason that he decided to wait a few weeks to tell that board is not because he couldn't find the location. It's because he went back to the location himself to gather up the wreckage, bring it to an airport hangar, break it down, throw it in a bunch of trash bins, and get rid of the evidence that proved that he faked the plane crash. Because they would be able to look at it, look at the diagnostics, see that the plane, was perfectly fine, that there was no logs that showed that it needed to be brought down. And that would show that everything he was doing was a lie. And it is a lot harder to get out of a lie that you've been doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down on with every major media site. And that is also the main thing he got in trouble for. I don't know if it's illegal to just like crash a plane on purpose. I feel like there should be like some crime with that, like just because it's generally dangerous. But it's not the crime that he was charged for. He was charged with the crime of lying to government officials about the situation, about how he didn't know the location of the crash, about how he got rid of all the evidence but didn't tell them all of that. He further admitted he lied to federal investigators when he submitted an aircraft accident report that falsely indicated that the aircraft experienced a full loss of power approximately 35 minutes after takeoff. He also lied to an FAA aviation safety inspector when he said the airplane's engine had quit and he could not identify any safe landing options. He had parachuted out of the plane. So they revoked his license. He has admitted guilty to lying to them. And now we'll see exactly how bad the punishment is. It's up to 20 years. Probably won't be the max punishment, but it will be a punishment that is deserved for what he did. And I think that's fair. That's how our justice system works. But anyway, stop making plane crashes for YouTube views. Just watch the button. It's way easier. It gets about as many views. So, that's not a bad idea. Anyway, have a good one. Thanks for watching and subscribe. All right, see you later. Goodbye.